Redland in Vancouver, and they've produced these pixelated versions for Zhanghe's group, and we hope are scaling up their production as we speak. Finally, this is what Professor Hay envisions as the future. This is also an array of 18 detectors, scaled up, however, to a larger size of 2 by 2 by 1.5 cubic centimeters. He's convinced that these will be available shortly through Redland. And if you do the calculation by Monte Carlo, you find now that the relative efficiency of that array is 57%. That's relative to a 3-inch by 3-inch sodium iodide. So that's a typical germanium detector. So you now have the efficiency of a germanium detector, room temperature operation, perhaps down to something approaching 0.5% energy resolution, and imaging. And I think all that together is, I think, a compelling package that is going to have some impact. I don't have time, I'm running out of time as always, but one can also image separately each energy band in the spectrum and do what is known as both energy and spatial deconvolution to separate out the images from different energy gamma ray sources. So one could, in principle, identify separately different radioactive materials that are in the 4-pi field of view. And this is just one example of doing that separation. And I think we pretty much said all the conclusions here. So I believe this is one of the revolutionary kinds of sensors that have been permitted really by advances in electronics. It's been largely that effort that has permitted this kind of widespread multi-channel readout of these detectors that's necessary to do this kind of function. If you wanted to draw some conclusions, in the big picture, we've seen the evolution of sensors going from counters, something like Geiger tubes, going to spectroscopic devices like sodium iodide. I believe the next major step in the ability to sense sources at a distance will be adding the ability to image those sources, to be able to separate them out from the background. And I think suppression of backgrounds is going to be the big advantage gained by being able to visualize the source separately in the image and eliminate much of the background contributions. So that's where I think the field is headed, talking about imaging sources at a distance. So I've run out of time. I'll stop at this point. Thank you for your